Chan Yong-rong, Rachel Kek Si-Yu, Lim Yong-Sing, and Yap Tian-Tian. The project supervisor is Ms. Vicky Wu from Republic Polytechnic, and our collaborator is from Institute of Materials Research and Engineering, ISTA, Dr. Song Wei-Xiang. So I'll give a brief introduction about our project. This is a healthy teeth which exists in our mouth. And if you don't take good care of it, this is what you will become. You will become tooth decay, which also known as dental caries. This needs to be fixed as soon as possible because it will affect the aesthetic properties as well as the oral health environment. And hence, there's another way in order to fill in these dental caries. It actually is dental restorative materials, which I'll be introducing in this. Diagram A shows one type of dental restorative materials, and dental B shows another one. Dental A is amalgam, which consists of mercury. This mercury may have a possibility of having toxic as over time if it will be present in your oral health. Compared to B, it does not look to me that it actually has a dental filling before, as it has two similar aesthetic properties to our actual teeth. And hence, if you are given a choice, which one would you want to choose? A or B? Definitely B, right? Because you don't want to have A and then have it inside your mouth, which makes you look beyond your age. Elderly people, yes. But we also recommend elderly people to have these good aesthetic properties, dental materials. Despite the aesthetic properties, this B, which is dental composites, also consists of good mechanical properties. And hence, this project focuses on dental composites able to find out the polymerization shrinkage as well as the mechanical properties. So, what are dental composites? Dental composites are two colored filling materials which consist of organic matrix, inorganic fillers, activators or initiators, and silane coupling agents. They will undergo polymerization and form this cross-linked polymer network. Despite developmental improvements such as aesthetics, mechanical properties, and ease of handling for dental composites or dental materials, polymerization shrinkage still remains as a clinically significant problem. This is because when the polymerization occurs, there will be shrinking of the material as they need to change the van der Waals forces into covalent bonding, and this will minimize the distance between them, and it will result in a shrinkage. And this may cause gap between tooth and material, and this gap will eventually lead to decay or caries. This will be a secondary caries as it is after a first dental restorative experience. Other than that, polymerization shrinkage also may cause pain to the patient due to contraction stress. As we know that we are polymerizing the dental materials, it will contract and result in the shrinkage and causing discomfort and pain to the patient. That's why we are here to address to this problem. These are few clinical problems that may exist even after a first filling experience due to the polymerization shrinkage. Secondary caries, which I've mentioned before, as microorganisms may be trapped within the gap between the material and your actual tooth. This is your material and this is the actual tooth, and it will cause secondary caries. The bonding of the material and the tooth may also occur, which affects the mechanical properties of the dental materials. And so, these are two different kinds of polymerization mechanisms. One is a conventional, and another one is a filtered P90. Conventional methods are, just now I've mentioned before, is the exchanging for van der Waals forces to covalent bonding. This will cause shrinkage in a larger amount when compared to the new material which 3M has developed. It's filtered P90. It's known to be low shrinkage. And this project, we are discovering how this material, as a new material, will help in our project. This material consists of silarate, which has siloxane, backbone, and oxirane. It works on a ring opening mechanism. As the oxirane consists of a ring here, you have a ring opening mechanism during polymerization. And this ring opening mechanism will eventually able to compensate to the volume shrinkage, minimizing the volume shrinkage as well as the polymerization shrinkage. So, the objectives of our project in clinical practice is to recommend a promising approach for prevention of secondary caries. As polymerization shrinkage may lead to secondary caries, by minimizing the polymerization shrinkage, it will help to prevent the secondary caries. For industrial applications, is to establish a reference guide for the enhancements of dental composites. This is because when we are trying to minimizing the polymerization shrinkage, we are giving a reference to the industrial or also the manufacturer such that they will be able to use this kind of method to minimize the polymerization shrinkage and enhance the performance of their composite or products. The target outcomes is to examine the shrinkage and hardness of Filtek P90 using different light curing modes. The materials and methods that we have used, we have 4 different types of curing modes, which is control, pulse delay, soft start, and pulse cure. Each of them consists of different light intensity and curing duration. Light intensity and curing duration will affect the polymerization shrinkage, as we will see in a later part result. And if you are curious of what is this light curing gun, it's a light curing gun which shines blue light on the dental material, which is shown here. And this dental material will polymerize due to the photoinitiator in this material. They will start to polymerize, and this is how we actually measure the shrinkage using the data logger. Polymerization shrinkage, as I mentioned before, it may be due to light, but also due to thermal, X-ray radiation, and chemical interaction. And this will result in a volume change. In a change in dimension, meaning shrinking, it becomes smaller and causing gap debonding, and also may cause secondary caries. So, another one is hardness test. This is a Vickers hardness tester. It's important that we look for the surface properties because other than the bulk property and the polymerization shrinkage, which I have mentioned before, surface property is also important because when we are chewing or biting something, it's the surface that's in contact with the protruding material in your mouth, in the oral environment. So it's important for us to investigate whether this material or these few types of curing methods were able to enhance the hardness as well as so that the material were able to withstand the stress when we are biting something. And so, this is the outcomes of our project. It's the polymerization shrinkage graph against time. For C is control, PC is pulse cure, PD is pulse delay, soft start is SS. As from this graph, it can be shown that PC shows the least polymerization shrinkage and PD showed the most. It has also shown that during the first few minutes of the polymerization is the most significant part. However, after that is considered quite constant. And this is the Vickers hardness value data which we have computed. For PC, it maintained as the highest final Vickers hardness value. And from these few results that we have gathered, it can be shown that PC showed the least in polymerization shrinkage while maintaining the highest in the final Vickers hardness value. And so, within the limitation of our study, we can conclude that pulse curing method shrunk the least and has the highest final Vickers hardness values. And so, pulse curing may be beneficial to material manufacturers and dental practice, as we will recommend them to use pulse curing method instead of the control, which is standard treatment. This will enhance the performance of the dental materials and minimizing the polymerization shrinkage. Our potential benefits of our project to the society, industry, and education is that industry will be able to strengthen the relationship between manufacturers and dentists. If dentists make use of our pulse curing method and they found it useful to actually minimize the polymerization shrinkage, they'll be able to recommend that, oh, manufacturer, we have this type of curing method and you found it very useful, you may write it in your instructions so that you can recommend to other people and enhance your performance. Other than that, for education, to gain insights of polymer science in dental materials, as our project makes use of polymer in our dental materials, it's also important that we know how the polymerization and shrinkage will eventually affect the education. For potential benefits to society, is to create awareness of oral health to public, as well as to reduce possible expenses of additional fillings after an oral checkup. As you minimize the polymerization shrinkage, you minimize the occurrence of the secondary caries. And as these benefits for industry, education, and society, our project actually has been recognized for the Polytechnic Students Research Program 2011, and it's featured in the new paper. So it can be seen that we are very honored and proud to say that our project actually has a few benefits which benefits the society, industry, as well as the education. So, as this project is a collaboration between A-Star INRI and Republic Polytechnic, we'd like to thank Dr. Soon Wei Siang from INRI for contribution and guidance, and Ms. Vicky Wu from Republic Polytechnic for the knowledge imparted. Thanks.
In doing this project, what were the difficulties that you encountered?
Because the polymerization shrinkage data logger, we need to redo a few samples. We have actually redone a few samples and a lot of time so that we can confirm, and then we select the accurate results so that we make proof that our results are accurate as we do a lot of sample testing and prove that this is really, really very useful in minimizing the polymerization shrinkage.
So what is the complexity of your project?
The complexity of this project is that how we actually link the polymerization and shrinkage, and the hardness together, because we are trying to see if we are minimizing the shrinkage, how will it affect the hardness. So we are trying to correlate them together such that we can propose that PC at one point it's minimizing the polymerization shrinkage, but at the other point it's still maintaining as a high viscous hardness value, as hardness is an important surface properties for the dental materials.
Did your pulse curing method show that your shrinkage and hardness is the best?
Yeah, because shrinkage we want as low as possible and hardness we want as high as possible. So pulse curing showed both. Yes.
How do you measure the shrinkage of that material?
Make use of the data logger machine, and this data logger machine is connected to this laptop, and this laptop has a computational Excel sheet. When it actually connects to a strain gauge, we connect the material to a strain gauge and the strain gauge to this data logger, and then it will beep every second. So that every second it beeps, it will record the data into this computer, and then we will get the results and retrieve it from this computer.
These have not been tested in the tooth, right? It's just a study.
Yeah, we are just simulating the oral environment, not the actual clinical practice.
Do you just have any more questions for them? Any questions from the floor? If not, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so